Okay, so next we're talking about the movie Trainwreck. So this is directed by, I can never pronounce his name, I think it's Judd Apatow or something. Apatow, yeah? Toe. Anyway, he's done some great comedy films. He's produced a lot of stuff. If anybody remembers The 40-Year-Old Virgin, a hilarious film with Steve Carell, loved it. Knocked Up, funny people, not so funny. This is 40, and he's produced like loads of films that you would have heard of, stuff like Anchorman 1, 2, Zoolander, Bridesmaids, Getting Too Greek. It's got a long list of stuff anyway, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Superbad, all sorts of stuff. So this is a new film from him, and it stars Amy, she's from anyone who watches Saturday Night Live. She's on that. She's really, really funny in that as well. So this was the ideal film for her. This is her front and center, kind of cut loose. The John Cena scene is hilarious. But the film
what
itself,
scene, sorry?
The John Cena scene. The wrestler, John Cena. You know when he's on top of Amy, and then he starts.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Yes. the film is
he is
really
great in the movie.
The film is really funny, and yeah, John Cena, like Baptista in Guardians of the Galaxy, has some really funny scenes again. It's surprising to see these wrestlers come through and do really well. Almost have show stealing lines, and they're just really, really funny. What was your kind of take on the film as well?
Well, definitely that guy we were talking about. I don't do names very well. So he definitely nailed. I mean, this might well be full of spoilers. This one, because he plays basically he's Amy's only boyfriend. She sleeps around with a lot of guys. But she's also going out sort of with this guy, and he's basically gay, and it's so obvious, and it is just hilarious. I mean the whole film. I can't say the whole film is hilarious, unfortunately, but I won't say the whole film is hilarious. I mean the whole thing is hilarious, but there is a point where about halfway through things start to slow down a bit, and they start to go off to sort of traditional stuff, and it gets a bit dull, but the first 2/3 of comedy is so worth it. It's definitely worth going to see it for that. I mean, right from the opening, they've got two little girls. This is Amy and her sister when they're little, and they've got their dad in front of them, and he's trying to explain to them why he's why him and his wife are getting a divorce, and he chooses to explain it via the little girl's doll, and my goodness,
it's absolutely hilarious.
I can't really explain it. It could do it justice. You have to see
watch.
It.
Yeah, I think that's something that we should leave for the audiences to watch and enjoy. That alone is worth the kind of entrance fee for the film, and then obviously you're still there for a huge roller coaster of a funny film as well. So it is really, really good. It just sets the tone. I think that's the way to put it. I mean, you have a good first couple of jokes, and you set the film on, and that's kind of the way you want to go. And it does. You're right. It does seem like it could drag on a little bit in the middle parts, but you have to pretend to put a story in there somewhere as well. Amongst all the jokes.
Yeah,
so you have to
put the typical story.
You have to kind of pad it out somehow. So. I know exactly where you're coming from. I kind of thought that as well. But the sharp humour, the relatable characters, because the way Amy is, even all the men that she's with, they're all kind of like, someone who's like that sort of thing, and that's what was really good. And you can kind of relate to the characters a bit more as well, and that's what makes it made it such a big blockbuster in America as well. And
I mean, the thing that bugs me a bit about the film is that it's actually a very modern take on a sort of rom-com and a woman, really. I mean, this woman has sex with people, and she doesn't mind that. She's happy with her life. And the thing that sort of confuses me about it is that it sort of lets itself down when it just tries to fit into the normal rom-com box at the end.
Yeah.
So I really like, yeah, definitely the first half is a lot better than the second half, and it's a shame they let them down on that bit.
It's just tying that story back in, and that's where they've kind of let themselves down just a little. It's still
Yeah.
it's still a really, really funny film. Anyone who wants to watch a good
I
comedy.
felt sorry for her, you know. I felt sorry for the character because I don't think she had to change that much. Just it was almost put on to like, oh, because she's a train wreck according to the title. That's the only time that really comes in.
It does, yeah.
You know, she has to sort of change herself entirely just to sort of fit in to have a normal life and a family and stuff. And I know that is something that people have to do sometimes. I mean, sometimes you have to change your life to, you know, have a normal life. But I'm not sure that it didn't really sit that well for me that things just changed like that. It was a bit unkind to her, I think, especially if the guy was basically being a bit of an ass, and that's sort of where things start to get a bit mixed up. So yeah. Apart from that, the comedy, brilliant. It's so worth going to see the comedy.
Yeah, and I think she's going to be a big star as well. She's come from TV, similar to like Tina Fey, Steve Carell, and you know, they're just going to go on to bigger and better things. This was a great kind of first big film to have under her belt as well, kind of like a starring film, and it doing really well. So you know, and she's funny. This is the thing. It's not just like it's not like Hot Pursuit, where you've got two ladies, you put them in a film, and it just doesn't work. This actually.
I enjoyed Hot Pursuit.
You're the only one.
But we're not talking about that.
No, but we're comparing it with a really awful film that he likes.
It had some problems, but that's true.
It's another day, another topic.
Yes.
I give this a strong 8. I really enjoyed it. It's as good. It's getting there. It's better than This Is 40 and Funny People. Still not as good as 40-Year-Old Virgin, which I still think is his best work, but this is really, really good, really good. Well worth a watch.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 or an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. It's that tricky bit where they didn't do well with the actual story in the end, which could drag it towards 7, but the comedy is well towards 9, so average 8.
Yeah, it's that tie-in, that's all it is. Trying to tie all those bits together. Just couldn't do it properly, but other than that, it's really, really funny. It's really good, and you know, to be fair, I don't think the film was too long, so I didn't feel like it dragged too much. I think sometimes because there's no comedy in bits, it kind of just drags. But 2 hours.
That's true. It didn't really drag. Yeah.
It's all right for a 2-hour film.
It's longer than the other films that are out at the moment, but you're right, it didn't drag. I agree with that.
And I hate Bane. The Falcon's paying me to stomp him out is just icing on the cake.
Brilliant. So worth a watch. Definitely the summer R-rated film, or 15 to the film. I think maybe it's up there with Ted. I think, you know, they're on par. They're on par.
You didn't like Ted, or are you talking about the original Ted?
The first one.
Okay. Not Ted 2, okay.
Not Ted 2. This one. It's much better than Hot Pursuit. If you want to see a girly film, this is much better than Hot Pursuit. So watch it.
Yeah. So if your opinions are different, or you agree with us, whatever, leave in the comments. Let us know what you think.